Welcome to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light Platinum on a rainy night in Landover, Maryland. It's a matchup in the NFC East. The New York Giants and the Washington football team both coming in at 0-1. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. That's the Hall of Famer, Troy Aikman. Let's talk about Washington last year, a division-winning team. They had that turnstile going at quarterback. But one thing they were able to hang their hat on was a good young defense. Ended up ranked second in the league in 2020. But they got taken apart a bit in week one by the Chargers.
Yes, and that's been the strength of this team. Like you said, Jack Del Rio did a tremendous job last year. The disappointing thing on Sunday was just their inability to make stops on third down and their inability to get pressure on the quarterback. They have 4 former first-round draft picks on that defensive front, and tonight they're facing a Giants offensive line that has had some problems, and they've got a couple of lineup changes in that group tonight as well. So it'll be key for this defense and that defensive front to get after Daniel Jones.
Yeah, so that's the objective for this offensive line for the Giants. Protect Daniel Jones, yes, but open up some running lanes and try to get Saquon Barkley going again a year removed from ACL tear.
Well, they know that the best way that they can help Daniel Jones is to be able to run the football. They haven't been able to do that. They weren't able to do that on Sunday. They got Saquon Barkley in the game. It had been a long time since he had played, and it's a tough comeback coming off of that ACL. They're going to have a hard time running the football tonight. So, yes, they will try, but it will be on Daniel Jones throwing the football for them to move the ball in this game.
How about some more about Saquon Barkley? Let's send it down to Aaron Andrews.
Yeah, Joe, Saquon Barkley said he really didn't know how that knee was going to hold up until, well, tonight. And I talked to him as he came off the field for pregame warmups. He said, I'm okay, but what's not ideal is playing 2 games in 5 days, as like you guys said, coming off a major injury almost a year ago. I asked him what he noticed about week 1. He said, my agility, my power, it's all back. I just have to put myself in a better position to show it. Everything is healed, he told me, but right now it's dealing with the soreness. And he said, I put my time in the training room. There's nothing else I can do but go out here and shake off the rust. For more on the Washington football team, let's send it over to Christina Pink.
Well, hey, Aaron, quarterback carousel continues. Washington just can't get away from it with the injury to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Inserts Taylor Heineke, but he's not your average backup quarterback. His teammates say they already have built trust and chemistry with him because of what he did last year in the playoffs. I asked Terry McLaurin, tell me about your quarterback. He said, well, he's a playmaker back there. He's kind of like a point guard to a certain degree. He's so dynamic with the ball, and Joe, they've got a ton of confidence in him tonight.
Christina, thank you. Aaron, thank you. Yeah, he brings a little something to this offense, some life, and we'll see how he gets along in this third NFL start. 73 degrees, humidity at 84%. It seems like it's high. It's raining. I know that. And the wind, not much of a factor at the moment, but it's rained for the better part of the day. Giants won the toss. They defer. Washington starts the night with the ball. New York on top, 7-zip. Welcome back to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light Platinum. Fast start for the Giants in this one. And Daniel Jones on that drive, first possession of the game, 68 yards in all. On the ground, through the air, and the 6-yard touchdown run to cap it. Presented by Best Buy, and we look at a player many regard as the best player in the game on the right, not just defender, but player in the game in Aaron Donald, and how Leonard Williams last season stacked up against him. Jones has to step up, dumps it off, and the pass incomplete for Barkley. Well, since day one, when Dave Gettleman took over, he's been talking about trying to fix this offensive line. Let's be honest. Let's not kid each other. Big men allow you to compete, and that's what we got to fix. And right now, an offensive lineman is down for the Giants, but they've been mixing and matching. They made 3 deals after the final cutdown day, and this is Nick Gates, who's moved from center to guard. and appears to be in a lot of pain. Christina?
Well, yeah, guys, this very vaunted Washington defensive front just simply underperformed on Sunday. That didn't sit well with them. I talked to Chase Young coming into this game. He said, we were hungry, we're focused, we're motivated. This is a different looking group right now, but you're just not seeing it, still not able to generate much pressure, guys.
No, 2nd down and 4. Next gen stats powered by AWS last week against the Chargers. We look at this 37-yard pass from Heineke to McLaurin. 22.7 completion probability, 1.6 yards of sideline separation, and 0.5 yards of target separation. And all that adds up to just a really great catch.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Yeah, it was.
We look at the late, great Bobby Mitchell. Pro Football Hall of Famer, class of '83, played 7 seasons for Washington and worked 34 years as a front office executive for this team. 4-time Pro Bowler, led the NFL in receptions in 1962 with 72 catches. That's how much this league has changed. Led the league in receiving yards in 62 and 63, touchdown catches in 64. Caffrey had a good week 1. Good to see him back. Ready to lead Carolina into a primetime showdown with the Texans. Thursday Night Football next Thursday at 8, only on NFL Network. And how about Tyrod Taylor in the game he had, and the Texans as they won over Jacksonville 37-21. And there's the day for Sam Darnold, one of the really good young guys in this league. And after that washout with the Jets, it had to feel good week 1 to beat New York.
Well, there's no doubt, and you've heard me talk about it. I like who New York has in Zach Wilson, but sometimes a quarterback leaving and going elsewhere is the best thing for him.
It's next gen stats powered by AWS, and we've talked about this matchup, Terry McLaurin against James Bradbury. We look at tonight on the right and week 9 last year. 1 catch last year, already 3, 39 yards and a score.
Yeah, well, James Bradbury, you know, this whole defense didn't play well last week, but James Bradbury struggled even by his own admission.
Bradbury. Christina?
Yeah, I talked to Antonio Gibson before the game, and his eyes got big when I asked him about being a full-time running back for now his 2nd year in Washington. He said he still feels like he's still learning the position, still getting comfortable, but he feels like he's getting better as the game goes on, as the workload increases. But he loves it, and he continues to emerge at this position.
Talk about new quarterbacks. Our quarterbacks with new teams. In week 1, 15 teams with new quarterbacks, 2nd most all time. You look at some of those names Darty talked about. Darnold, Teddy Bridgewater, very good for the Denver Broncos in that win over the Giants. And we had a chance to watch Jameis Winston with the 148 yards, but 5 touchdowns, no turnovers. He came in smiling and excited, and he left smiling and excited for what's to come in 2021. Good half of football, 14-10 home team. Washington on top. Stay tuned. The Lexus halftime report comes your way next.
Want more stats? Hey Siri, who has the most rushing touchdowns in football?
Into the sky on mine.
That was a fun first half. Good game, 14-10, although they're all good after we watched 38-3 in week 1 down in Jacksonville. Giants get the ball to start the second half, and they started the game really well, and then it just kind of left them. I'm anxious to see how they come out in this second half.
Well, they left some points out there. They got knocked out of field goal range early in the first quarter, and then they gave up, because of the penalty, 4 points on that, having to settle for the field goal after they had the touchdown. But a lot more offense in that first half than what I was anticipating coming into this game. The Giants have been able to do it on the ground, a couple of big runs. Washington has done it through the air, but I think both of these coordinators have called really excellent first halves, and can they get it going a little bit on the defensive side of the ball? Looking at it from the Giants' perspective, I just don't think, with no more pressure than they're getting on the quarterback, I think they're going to have to start considering bringing some blitzes, and then that will leave them one-on-one, and that means McLaurin one-on-one on Bradbury again.
For the first play from scrimmage, let's send it down to Aaron Andrews.
And Joe, I have to be honest, when I talked to Joe Judge about what they were going to do defensively about this Washington football team's offense, he didn't want to elaborate too much on it. He kept telling me, we just need to finish, we need to worry about the penalties, and we need to go out there and make Tyler Heinicke play as a quarterback. And I said, yes, but what are you going to do to slow them down? And that's what he repeated. So obviously, I'm not getting the full story. I'm sure the team did in the locker room.
Well, he did learn from Bill Belichick. And the tight end just gets 2. Now we check in with Christina Pink.
Well, how is Taylor Heinicke doing executing the Washington offense? He's been great, according to Ron Rivera. He said that last touchdown, that was all Taylor. He checked out of the play at the line. Now 17 of 21 in just his 3rd NFL start defensively. He thought they responded well, but they did give up some big runs because they weren't gaps down. So look for them to clean some of that up here in the second half, guys.
Christina, he's completing passes at 81% to get it back up 1.
Thursday Night Football is delivered by Pizza Hut. Order today at pizzahut.com.
We look back 30 years, Super Bowl 26. Some of the faces, the players, the coach. Washington defeated Buffalo 37-24. Mark Rippon, the MVP. Joe Gibbs, Super Bowl win 3. Gerald Riggs with a couple of rushing touchdowns. Art Monk had over 100 receiving yards. Darrell Green had a pick. That's 30 years ago.
30 years ago, we went to RFK. They were 10-0.
Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
This matchup between New York and Washington, these two quarterbacks, for different reasons, had the jury out on them coming in. For Heinicke, he just hasn't played, making just his 3rd NFL start. He's played really well. And Daniel Jones, who has been under fire, has played, I think, extremely well. He's shown what he can do with his legs. That beautiful touchdown throw a moment ago to Slayton, and he's about to go back to work.
Yeah, and the big thing for him is that he's had times when he's had good protection and has allowed him to operate. He hasn't had a lot of that during his career.
And we'll welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. I'm Joe Buck along with Troy Aikman, and outside of a long run of 41 yards, we haven't seen much from Saquon Barkley. So we came in talking about the ground game and, you know, the need to get that going. That really hasn't clicked in except for that one run.
No, and so you look at their rushing numbers. He had the long run, and then, of course, the long run by Daniel Jones. And you just wonder right now, looking at this game, heck of a ball game, but you just wonder what defense, so far no turnovers in this game, what defense is going to make the play to give their offense a short field.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light Platinum. We are in Landover, Maryland. About 5 miles east of D.C. And when you think about what's on the line here for these two teams, I mean, good snap, good hold. Kick is good. Washington wins it. A game that saw 5 lead changes, 3 in the fourth quarter alone. And this was some game here in Landover. And there's the quarterback, signed as the quarantine quarterback. And a placeholder for the placeholder for Washington. And he rained some big plays on the Giants and showed a veteran's coolness, overcoming 2 fourth-quarter deficits. And Taylor Heineke has his first win. And boy, did he earn it. The penalty on Lawrence gave Hopkins another chance. And Washington wins this game to go to 1-1 and send the Giants to 0-2. And we should hope they're all this good in 2021. What a night. Mercedes EQ postgame show coming up. Thanks for watching Thursday Night Football, presented by Bud Light Platinum. What a game.